Hi, this is Amanda. I'm going live here on YouTube. This is the first time I've done this. So I welcome you to this video. Um, I welcome you if you're here live. You're welcome to say hello in the chat, put your questions in there, whatever you would like. I will read them. I have it up on my screen so I can see if you do write questions on here right now. Um, this video today, I'd like to talk about the women that I have been talking with. I've been having these conversations, and I would welcome you to. I'm doing research conversations with women, 40s, 50s, that you're working. You have a family working, but you're still feeling that something is a little bit off. So I welcome you to look in the description. There's a link to a Google Doc, a Google form for you to fill out, and I will read all of your responses. So in this video, I'd like to talk to you about women that I've been talking with. I've been talking with women mostly from the US. There's some from Spain, where I live now. And I'd like to talk today about a combination of the women that I've been talking to and also the women that I have been working with. I'm a life coach. I've been a life coach for over 7 years now, and now I'm focusing on working with women in their 40s, 50s and above that just feel like something isn't right and they want to see that change. We'll talk about it more in this video right now. So yeah, I would ask you to look at the Google Doc below and fill out that form, and I will respond to you by email, and hopefully we'll be able to have a short conversation. I'd love to hear about your life and what is going on right now in your life. So yeah, for this video, I'd like to make up a character, a woman. Let's name her Kate. So I think you may see something in Kate that is similar to you. I'd love to hear from you in the chat or in the Google form if you are relating to this. So Kate, we have Kate. Kate's life is really good, almost perfect on paper. Kate has her undergraduate degree. She studied what she wanted to. She's been working in her career now for years. She's had children. Her children are now out of the house. They've been studying at university, and now they're independent or becoming independent. Um, Kate has done so many of the things that she felt like she was supposed to do. You know, go to high school, go to college, find a partner, have kids, do the career, continue to do that. And she is successful on paper. She has worked her way up in her career. Other women that I've talked to also have their own businesses. But Kate she has gotten to a high role in her career. She's successful. She's responsible. She takes care of her family. She takes care of her kids. She takes care of her spouse. She's on her second marriage now. She got divorced when the kids were a little bit younger. But now Kate feels like something's different. She feels like there's something inside of her that isn't just right. It's kind of a new thing that she's feeling. So she can't explain it. She can't quite put her finger on what the reason is for that feeling inside her. So she starts to ask herself deeper questions. She starts asking herself, what is it that I want now? I've been doing the same thing for years and years now. My children don't need me as much. My second husband now, we get along fine, things are fine, but there's still something in me that wants more. It's not that I feel bad. I don't feel she this character would say to me, I don't feel bad. It's not like I'm depressed. I feel okay. I go to work, I feel good, I have accomplishments, I reach my goals, but there's still something that I'm missing. There's still something that isn't just right. Um, she's starting to question what is it that really matters in my life right now. I have my work, I have my family, I have my friends. We go on trips, but still there's something else that I don't feel totally fulfilled. There's something else that I haven't quite reached yet in my life. So she starts thinking, you know, who am I? Like, I've been mom, but now my kids are out of the house. They don't need me as much. I'll always be their mom, but they're becoming independent. They don't need me like they did when they were 5. In my work, I've established who I am in the workplace, in my career, in my profession, but that's not all that I am. I'm not only a spouse. You know, who am I right now? And Kate is still left with this, I'm still not sure. So, there's this confusion of I something is still missing, something isn't quite right, but I really have this good life. So it's that um that choke, the I'm thinking in Spanish, están chocando, that they're hitting each other, life. I should feel really good about how my life is right now, but yet I'm feeling this way. So that's the strange thing that comes up right now for Kate is what's going on? It's confusing. What's going on? Because my life is really good, but I'm not feeling that zest for life that I used to. So that's what a lot of women that I'm talking to nowadays are feeling this way. So I, Amanda, as a coach, I would like to say to you and to Kate and to the women that I've talked with and to you that hopefully I will talk with you soon is nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong with you. This is a part of life. This is part of our growing up, from childhood to adolescence to being teenagers to young adults. And now we are in midlife. A lot of people, I don't like the phrase midlife crisis because I really don't think it's a crisis. I think it's a shift, it's an opportunity to shift, to transition into who we are and who we are becoming. It's a journey that we need to go through. It's a part of growing. I'd like to also share with you about another woman that I have had a conversation with, and she has her own business. She is now with a new partner, and they have children as well. So there are her and her children, and her new partner and his children living in the same house. So there are a lot of people in the house, and she's right now wondering, how she's wondering about her role as, the mother of her children, and also like being a mom figure to the other children in the house. And her partner is not her first husband, he's her new partner. Working on that relationship, how is that changing, how is that evolving? And the responsibilities in the house, the kids are old enough that they can do a lot in the house. So it's, working with them and how that communication is, how they work through, divvying up the work that needs to be done in the house, the daily chores, cleaning, cooking, buying groceries, things like that. And more than that, she feels like she still has things that she wants to accomplish outside of her career. She loves to travel. She loves taking people different places. She likes to take people on trips. So that is something that she hasn't been able to do, but she really knows she has taken the time and she has that awareness of what it is that she wants to do. That's really the first step in this, is becoming aware that something isn't quite right, and then working towards what it is that you do want. That's the next step, becoming aware of it and then what it is that you do want. And I've been talking with another lady who is in her career. She still has a few more years to go in her work career. And she feels like her routine every day, Monday through Friday, does the same thing, getting up, going to work, and then stopping by the grocery store, making dinner, eating dinner, going to bed, getting up the next day. She feels like the routine, she feels like she's missing out on the adventure of life. She said she feels like, there's something inside of her that she doesn't really know yet what it is that will light her up in the way that she wants to feel inside. She hasn't really figured out what that vehicle is, but she is aware that she feels that fighting of, I am blessed, I have a house, I she's married as well. She has her husband, she has children, and even a grandchild. It's like, I know that I'm blessed in so many ways, but yet I still have this feeling that, there's still something else in life. So I think after talking with so many women, after working with so many women over these years, I keep meeting the same type person like Kate, and perhaps like you, working with women like this. Even though we're different, a little bit different, we all have that same feeling at some point. We all have that same feeling of, there's something else that I'm being pulled towards something else. That this inside of me is saying, this isn't all there is. There's something else waiting for you. There is adventure. There is a change in your life. There is, you know, realizing the day to day things that do give you that joy. It could be a career change. It could be so many other changes, but women our age, we all go through this. We all have that same feeling that there's something in us that needs to come out. Okay? So, the possibilities are there for us. The opening is there for you. The freedom that is waiting for you to feel like you are um, you are being all that you are, because right now the feeling that you have is because you're not feeling that whole you. See Lulu? There's Lulu. There's my little Shih Tzu Lulu taking a nap on the couch. So yeah, the possibilities for you are, more meaning in your life. You want to feel that your life is full of meaning. It could be in the day-to-day things, it could be in big things that you want to accomplish. I mean, it could be small things, it could be big things. That's up to you to figure that out. One thing you're probably also desiring in your life is more authenticity. What does that mean? Being more of yourself, being more of who you are, that you start to leave behind you the idea that you have to kind of put on a show, or you have to abide by society's rules for how you should act, or who you should be friends with, or the type of house you live in, or the type of car you drive. Whenever you become more authentic, you realize what it is that you really want, that is your true desire, and you stop worrying about what other people think of you. You learn to worry less about that, about what people think of you. And another thing that's possible too is more contribution. What is it that you feel like your life is meant to do for others? It could be for your family, it could be for a nonprofit organization. It could be that you want to start a community of people, or start an activity in your community, or it could be major contribution in the world, working with others in a similar goal. But that's something that you can work through, and that is something that I have helped many women work through this process. So what's on the other side of going through the process of starting from this feeling, this confusing feeling, working through it, getting awareness of it, figuring out what it is that you really do want, figuring out what it is that you do not want, setting up the parameters for that in different systems, and then knowing that you can always update, that you can always change that. So I want you to know that, this the feeling that you're going through right now is it's not a crisis. It's not a crisis. It's actually, I think it's your soul, your inner being is becoming has more of a voice now, and it's raising that red flag and saying, "Hey, you need to listen to me. You need to listen to me because now is the time for you to be more of you. Now is the time for you to do what it is that you really feel pulled to do, and not something that you're expected to do, or things or ideas that you have from roles that you have had in the past that just are not fitting for you right now." So maybe it is, an invitation for you to start that process of changing into who you're becoming, into changing your identity of who you are, the identity you had, of yourself in the past, and then learning that new identity that you can have for yourself. So if you recognize yourself, or if you realize that this is happening to you, then I would appreciate it. And I think it will be a helpful first step for you to look at in the description for that Google form, fill it out. I'll be in touch with you by email and we'll set up a time to chat. So I look forward to reading your responses in the form, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Now I have to figure out how to close this. It's the first time I've done this. So yeah, thank you. Bye.